What you're about to see is an extended excerpt from my full course on how to set up very profitable Amazon ads with artificial intelligence. But don't worry, this particular excerpt has all the important parts of the setup that you need so that you can set up your ads and run them. You do not have to get the full course. This video should be enough. This video has enough detail in it that if you go through it step by step by step, you will be able to set up your Amazon ads with a tool called Xmars, which is an AI tool that is going to run in the background and optimize your Amazon ads. And this video is ideal for if you're already an Amazon seller, if you're either running ads now or you're thinking of running ads now. You should never anymore run ads in a way that you set them up yourselves, because that way you'll just get beaten by people who are running ads with tools like this or with other tools that are more effective than just manually doing your ads. You'll always get beaten by software, especially AI. This tool is the cutting edge of running Amazon ads. I'm going to show you case studies of what happened with my products. I'm going to show you the step-by-step setup, and that's going to be the video. Now, just a quick disclaimer or warning about how the video is structured. The full course is kind of like video by video by video. In this video, I put them all together. So every once in a while, I'll say, in this video, that just means that I edited all the videos into this one super long video. So that's why it will sound like that at times. But in any case, by the end of this long video, you should be able to set up your Amazon ads in a profitable and automated way. And once you get that working for you, you can set that up for one product. And once that works, you can set it up for all of your products. Now, there's no guarantee that it will work like a miracle. If you have a product that doesn't sell, you'll have a harder time selling it with AI. But if you have a product that already sells well or semi-well, then this tool will take your Amazon ads and your entire Amazon business to the next level. So with that, enjoy the course. In this video, I want to show you my before and after results for selling this particular book. Now, before I was running these ads that I'm going to show you, this book wasn't actually ranking #1 in organic search. It was kind of 3 or 4 or 5 depending on the day, and I was struggling a little bit to rank it higher, and I needed more sales. And I needed those sales in a sustainable way. And so what I needed to do is find a source of sales that were consistent and profitable. So if I went to social media and tried to get more sales, I could get a little bit more sales today, but I couldn't get it every day. And ads are the ideal solution for that, because as long as you run ads, you're going to keep on making consistent sales. The challenge with ads is to keep them profitable, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you. So here is my dashboard for ads. I'm going to just show you how to look at this. It's a little cryptic, so I'm going to explain to you the naming. You see when it says Xmars, that's the tool we're going to be exploring, but here it is, Business Plan AI, right? I'm promoting this business plan book. That's what it means. This is the business plan book. And I'm running different ads here, 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 these 5 ads. And I'll show you the date range. So the date range is the last 15 days. And when I scroll to the right, you'll see that 2 of the ads are very profitable. This one that's making the most sales, and this other one that just doesn't have that many sales. So I have 2 options. I can turn off the unprofitable ads at any time, because I've already achieved the #1 organic ranking. I don't need as many sales for the purpose of helping me rank higher in Amazon search. I'm already ranking the highest in Amazon search. So I can remove these ads. For example, the one with the ACOS, 149%. ACOS, of course, is advertising cost of sales. You want that to be less than 100% and preferably as little as possible. That's a metric of how profitable your product is. So here, that's exactly what I'll do, is I'll actually say, okay, I've seen enough of this. I'm going to stop spending money here, or you can just decrease the daily budget. That's probably the most reasonable, and I'll talk about that in a second. And generally increase the budget for this particular ad, the second row, because that second row, I can keep running that forever. And as long as I keep running that, I'm going to keep on getting more sales, and my sales velocity is going to be better than my competitors, and this will be my competitive advantage. And just to show you that before, I also tried to accomplish the same thing, but before I used Xmars and I was just setting up ads manually, I couldn't get my ads to run as efficiently. So my advertising costs were so large that it was very unprofitable for me to do this, and it was very unsustainable. So if you look at, this is a date range here from June 1st to June 15th, but if you look at April of this year, like all through April, I had stopped running ads. You see, I had a bunch of ads, but they weren't running. I can even go all ads. And I was running some very few ads, you see, but very, very, very insignificant. Just because as advertising became so competitive in Amazon, it became less and less profitable for me, and then I just started losing money with it, so I had to turn it off. When Amazon ads just launched, it was cheap to advertise and it was very profitable, but every year it got more and more competitive, and at one point I just couldn't keep advertising. And thanks to Xmars, not only am I actually making money directly from the ads. You see, I can just be running this ad totally profitably and just be happy and making more money. So I'm not only making money this way, but I'm also making way more from the organic sales. And this is my actual sales dashboard. You can look at my sales for this particular book in April. You know, most days are like one sale, one Kindle. Some days are like one sale, paid, Kindle, some 3 sales. But when you scroll, and I started running these ads around starting of May, you see, boom, immediately you can see from these little tiny bars, I started making way more sales. Depending on the day, of course, you would look at it and it would maybe double or triple or even quadruple the sales from where it was. And of course, that's only the beginning, because as books grow in their category, they gain more and more momentum. And when they jump over other books in the categories, there's often an inflection point where the organic sales just go up, and get through the roof. But as you can see, this is very real data here. And as you can see, the only difference is that I started running Xmars ads, and it helped me make my ads legitimately profitable and helped me get more organic sales as well through better Amazon ranking. With this video, let's begin the sign up process for Xmars. So we'll go to the homepage, xmars.com, and click on Get Started for Free. Simple enough. It will take you to another screen. This is the basic registration screen. You'll just enter all your information. Of course, depending on your needs, if you're just a seller on Amazon, you'll enter seller. If you have a bigger brand, you would enter brand. And if you do this for many companies, you would enter agency. And then you would enter your monthly ad spend. Then you click agree, and you just need to verify your email. You can give them your personal email and get a verification code. So let's do that together. This is my test email that I use to create accounts. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to click get verification code, and that email gets sent to my Gmail. So I'll go to my Gmail. So as you can see, I already got that email. I'll click on it. I'll copy the verification code, Control C. Then I'll enter it right here, and I'll click sign up. After that, you'll get the login screen. You'll enter your information for the account you created, and you'll click login. Then you'll get a prompt asking you to authorize Xmars. So it says, according to Amazon's policies, the data acquisition process you need to authorize before Xmars can provide you with advertising services. Click on the button to immediately go to the authorization. So you click to authorize, and click it again. And here you are. Your account is created. And in the next videos, we'll continue setting it up further to help you run better Amazon ads. Once you get your account set up, you start having access to all the tools and features, which is great, but at the same time can be a little confusing. So in this video, I want to help you get started navigating Xmars by explaining to you the major features and the major navigation options. And later in this course, we're going to go deeper into each one, but it's just nice to have an overview so that you'll know what we're dealing with. The dashboard here This is the default view. This is where you get all your most important information, how much you're spending, how much your ads are working, different funnels, different keywords you're targeting, etc., etc. After the dashboard, you have the Intelligence Center, and the Intelligence Center is essentially where all your AI, artificial intelligence features are. You can set up ads with smart creation, meaning it's going to use artificial intelligence. You can also do different AI optimization, strategy, and recommendations that XMars might give you. We'll cover all that later, but this is essentially where all your artificial intelligence is. Next, you'll have the Product Center, essentially all your product. This is for a store. So if you just have single products like I do, it's not something I would use, but if you have a store and you authorize with this SP API, you're able to have access to this. Then under Ad Manager, you're able to manage your ads that are running, and you get all kinds of information about all these ads that you have, like your ads for sponsored products, your sponsored brands, your sponsored display ads, and all the different ads you might have, and you can do some management of them there. Next here is the efficiency tools. This is where you can create different automation rules. You can lock ad placements, etc. And then moving on, under the Creative Center, this is where you upload and create your promotional assets like images of products, etc. Under that is Data Insights, all about your brand. And some of these are totally empty in my case because this particular account I'm showing you is a brand new, fresh setup that I'm doing together with you. Then as we move on the left side through the options, there's this AMC model, which is really cool. AMC stands for Amazon Marketing Cloud. This is available for larger clients on Amazon. So if you're a small seller, this is not even available to you. But through XMars, you have all these advanced features available, like time to conversion, path to conversion, branded searches perhaps, audience demographics, geographic analysis, optimal frequency analysis of your ads, etc. Really cool advanced stuff here. And then of course under Bill Center is where you set up your payments, etc. So generally speaking, for the most part, when we're just setting up our ads and getting comfortable with XMars, we're going to be navigating around to the dashboard, Intelligence Center, the Ad Manager, and eventually the efficiency tools. As the advertiser, we'll spend most of our time across these options. So even though it looks like a lot at first, it's a very well designed tool, and it will be easy for us to navigate and get our ads set up and running and performing well. So that was just an introduction to the general navigation. And with the next video, let's start diving deeper into the features. Now let's begin using some of the most exciting features of XMars, and that is using artificial intelligence to create ads from scratch. And by the way, you don't need to create ads in your Amazon account. You can manage and run and create all your ads right from this tool. And in this video, I want to walk you through a fresh new ad setup, and I'm going to show you which book I'm going to promote. It's going to be this marketing plan book. And as you can see, if I search for it organically, it's like right here, very low. This is the blue one. You see, it's not a terrible book. It has a 4.3 rating, 100 ratings. It's not the best book in the world, but it's just okay. Let's go to XMars and let's use the Intelligence Center option and the Smart Creation option to create the ad for this book. So I'm literally going to go Intelligence Center, Smart Creation. I'm already there. So I'm going to say create, and I'm going to say sponsored products. Next. Then I'm going to find this book in my dashboard. It's right here. I'm going to say add. Once I've added it, I'm going to click on next. Then it's going to present me with some options. And there are a couple of things you want to be aware of. First, the budget. Starting with a budget of $131 may not be right for everyone. So whatever your budget is, you can maybe lower it. That just depends on your situation. And of course, the target ACOS, generally speaking, if your target ACOS is 100%, you're going to lose money because you have to pay the Amazon fee. Then you have to pay for your product costs. So ideally, your ACOS would be much lower you can always work to decrease it. So whatever ACOS you start with is not the ACOS you're going to end with. So you wouldn't worry about it too much, but generally want to keep it reasonable. So I'm going to give it, let's say, like 130. Then I'll have to adjust the budget again. But the other thing that I want to point your attention to is this option for increasing sales. That's if you don't really care about the profitability. But if you care about profitability from the beginning, you want to click on cost control, and it's going to tell you, okay, that you can do that. You may have fewer sales, but your ACOS will be lower. And again, let's just decrease our budget a little bit and say next. The next screen has many options. I'll walk you through them. Auto is what you want. That means the AI will set up your ads, run your ads, adjust your ads. Of course, you can jump in and adjust them anytime, but if you don't do that, the AI eventually will do that for you. After that, you'll see the different campaigns. For example, research, that's search. So the AI is going to choose keywords for you, broad match keywords, phrase match, exact match. And actually, I'll add that, the phrase match, and I'll also add advertising on competitor pages. Remember, you can always adjust. Like, let's say if it picks a competitor that's not really a good competitor and their buyers aren't your buyers, you can always remove that. But you wanted to set up the campaigns for you. I think it's doing that because I decreased the budget quite a bit. And then branded, this is if people actually aren't searching for the book, like marketing plan book, but for the brand. In this case, the brand would be me. I'll also include that. And then I'll click next. Here, you want to leave it at default and click next. In the next screen, it's actually going to show you how it's going to distribute your budget. So we have this budget of $50. Out of this $50, it's going to distribute it among these campaigns. So for example, in the auto campaign, you can see what it's going to do. You're going to click on this 4 and you can see what it's going to attempt doing. It's basically going to redistribute ads in different types of targeting, and then it's going to monitor which targeting is going to be effective, and generally speaking, put more of the budget towards that in the future. And then let's say you want keywords. Okay, like let's see what keywords it will choose for us. So again, we have phrase, broad, and others. So under phrase, we'll click on the 7 and we'll see which keywords it's going to choose for us. So marketing business plan, that's good. Marketing plan template, that's good. How business plan, that's not good. You see, because it's a marketing plan book, so we can immediately adjust this before we actually run this ad, because we don't want to waste budget on keywords we know aren't great. Like only 5 out of these keywords are great. So you can either severely decrease the budget, like 20-cent clicks, sure. Or you can just uncheck right here. And if I uncheck one, how to business plan will disappear. And if I uncheck this one, how business plan will disappear. And you're left with really great keywords. These are going to be much more profitable than if I had not removed the ones that didn't make sense. So I'm going to confirm. And now you see I only have 5 targetings. I'm going to do the same thing here. 7 targetings. Probably going to remove the business plan because it doesn't make sense. Remove business plan. How business plan, remove that. And I may also increase the bid a little bit because it looks a little low. So let's say 81 cents. This is just optional, by the way. The bid, you can trust it to stay with what it was, but why not try better? And as the ad runs, you should still monitor the bids. And if you're not getting enough clicks, you can increase the bids manually as well. So we'll click confirm on that. We have 5 targetings there, and we have one more here. And in this view, you can see that I have, for example, and it's going to advertise on my name. To be honest, if people search for my name, they're already going to find me. So I might remove all and just confirm, because there's no point spending money. It would only really make sense if this was my flagship book, which this isn't. And then if that was the first book that came up, maybe that would be a reason to advertise. But if people are searching for my brand, they're already going to try to buy something of mine. So they're naturally going to find that in Amazon. In any case, once you are ready, the one thing that's really important to do is create an XMARS identifier. So in my case, it would be M plan, marketing plan, or I can do M_plan. so that it will be easy for me to tell this group of ads when I browse the dashboards. And then I'm going to look at some additional options that it gives me before I finalize this campaign. So targets harvesting by AI, that's for keywords. You can leave it as default. Create a campaign tag status, yes. It's going to make it easier to browse the results. And allow Xmars to increase daily budget by 20%, sure, if it has to. And if you see that it's spending the budget in a way you don't like, you can always remove targets that you don't like. So this is fine here. So I'm going to say create. Then it's going to confirm this with me. I'm going to check that when the AI autopilot is enabled, the system will intelligently adjust bidding, targeting, and the budget according to the set objective. And the AI service fee will be charged while AI autopilot is on. Otherwise, no service fee will be incurred. That's just for you to understand what's going to be happening and how you'll be billed. And then we'll click confirm, and the ad is successfully created. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time, should take under a day for these ads to get approved by Amazon and start running. And then if you come back tomorrow or later today, you should be able to see your ads already running and accumulating some data. You don't want to jump to conclusions too early because it's just going to be the first day, but certainly monitor over the next day, day after that. With this kind of a budget, after about 1 to 2 to 3 weeks, you'll start to get a strong sense of what's being effective, what's not. You can make adjustments on the fly, but keep in mind the AI does take about a month to go through all the adjustments it needs to find more profitable ads for you. So there's a lot of advantage to just letting it run for a while. But if you do see that it's doing something that you wouldn't do, like targets a keyword that just doesn't make sense, or gets your ads to appear next to other products that just don't make sense, you can pause that specific detail of the ad while letting the ad keep running. So you can also help the AI optimize things. And I'll actually be showing you how to do that later in the course. But for now, congratulations, we've just set up our ads. And as we keep going through the course, we're going to look at more and more detail about how to make the ads more profitable. In this video, I want to clarify one thing that may be slightly confusing. When I showed you how to set up the ads, I did the example with this marketing plan template book. But most of the examples in this course about the successful case study that I ran were not with that book. They were with this business plan book. The covers look different. The titles are very similar. So it might be a little confusing. So when I show one of the books, it may be a little confusing. Like it might seem like I'm showing the other. But really, the way that I filmed the lectures in this course is I actually set up all the campaigns first for this business plan book because this is kind of my flagship book. And that's the case studies that I have on it. But then when I started filming this course, the ads for this book were already set up. So I had to find another book with which to set up the ads so I can walk you through the process. So I walked you through the process of setting up the ads initially with this marketing plan book, but actually all the examples will be with this business plan book. That's just something I wanted to clarify so that it's not confusing as to why I'm showing different books at different times. In this video, I want to show you an immediate benefit you can get from setting up your ads in Xmars, because if you recall, you see right here in the campaigns column, when you set up your ad, you get multiple ads set up immediately within seconds. Whereas if you had to set up your manual ad like one way, another ad for keywords with broad match another way, another automatic running ads another way, you see I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ads created for me, all with this business plan AI, right? That little tag that I made, Xmars_ business plan AI, 6 ads within a few seconds. Really, it will take me 20 minutes probably on a good day, or an hour if I take breaks, to set this up manually. So first I save time, but then right away, most of the time, because it takes so long, I wouldn't do it. But you see, this is same day results where I'm starting to find ads that work, because some of these ads aren't working at all. And mind you, it should take about 30 days for the AI to become good at running all of these. But this is day 1, I'm already getting results, because look, one of the ads you see has row 3, 2,000 plus impressions, only 3 clicks, and $30 worth of sales, and a really great ACOS. On the other hand, the row right under that has an ACOS of 100%, which is less good, but neither of these are conclusive. They are just early signs that some things are working, some things are not working. My job is to let it run for a while, a number of days, just to keep on monitoring results, but I'm already getting 2 great benefits: time savings from setting up the ads, and the intangible benefit that I honestly wouldn't have set up so many if I was just doing it by myself. I would have probably gotten distracted. I wouldn't have a solid as a plan probably. So the ads got honestly set up better than if I had done it manually. And let's say things keep progressing in this manner. I can go into all of these ads and I can say, okay, I want to increase budget on the ad in row 3. That's again, in case things keep going that way. I'll increase my budget for the ad in row 3. I'll not necessarily decrease the budget on row 4, but I'll make some manual adjustments perhaps. And again, it should change because I gave it the goal of 60 ACOS. But let's say even if it doesn't reach that, I can still make the manual adjustments. And then I can also go into the other ads that aren't even working well yet. Like here, we just have like 1 impression on this one. Like here on the first row, we have 0 impressions and we only have 4 impressions on the second row. So I would go in and I would try to see what's wrong with that and maybe adjust it or stop it. So I'd end up with ultimately a really good ad out of all of these, no matter what happens, because I'm finding the winner. And that's an immediate benefit that might happen on day 1, but mind you, it may not happen because I also ran some ads that I set up on day 1 and they're still not getting results because the AI is still collecting data. But that's fine, that's what's supposed to happen. So you don't want to expect results on day 1, but they are very possible and are more likely with XMARS than if you were to set up the ads manually. So I just wanted to show you these immediate results on, actually it's been less than 1 day. I set up these ads this morning around 7 a.m. and I'm filming this video around 3 p.m. So I'm literally finding initial paths to the profitable ads within just 8 hours of having set up the ads. In this video, I want to show you something interesting that's developing. I'm filming this in the morning of May 21st right here. So I want to talk about May 20th. I had this spike in one of my books, this business plan book. I had 11 sales, 10 paperback and 1 Kindle. 11 sales total. And by the way, this was a Saturday. This is typically the worst day of the week. And you can see I also have a spike here, 13 sales. This wasn't when I was running ads, but actually this was one of the universities that actually uses this book. Their students were required to buy it, so that was that spike. But other than that, you pretty much see this book is struggling. Sometimes there's like 1 sale. Some of the days are like that. So here we have a real spike, and accompanied with that spike, we have an increase in rankings. I'll show you that in a second. When I search for business plan on Amazon, the first row that you see here are sponsored. These are all ads. The second row, I'm the first organic result. I was actually 4th or 3rd or 5th, usually around there. And usually, actually, this book usually ranks higher because look, if I click on it, it's actually a really highly selling book. It's part of the series of books that looks like this. If I scroll down, you'll see that they're like 3,000 seller rank in Amazon overall. That's tremendous. They're bestseller in a couple of categories. There's a lot of marketing dollars behind this particular series. And if I search for business plan on the Kindle only, my book is not number 1, but you see it's number 4. And it's actually great that we have access to both the Kindle and the paperback sales because the paperback shot up in rankings organically because of the ads, but I'm actually not running ads to the Kindle. That's why the Kindle is still struggling. It's only getting a little bit of sales. But this sign that I can raise the ranking so easily by more sales and more traffic to the book page just with ads is a great sign because very soon I'm going to do the same thing for the Kindle and similarly easily raise my rankings for the Kindle book, and then start getting organic sales for that too. But on the paperback, it's ranking number 1, which you saw the result. I had 10 sales of the paperback yesterday. And here's some data of the ads I'm running. So even though my ACOS was really bad in that particular day, the ads are still getting figured out. They're not the ultimate ads that are going to be running. It's still early on in the ads, but they've been generating some sales every day, a few sales every day. Here, this is $30 worth of sales. It's actually only 2 sales. And even though the spend was $77, because the book is $14.99, I made 10 paperback sales. That's $150 of sales plus 1 Kindle. So it's $155 really. So I spent $77, but my total revenue was $155, and I took home in total profit around $100. So even at these really bad ACOS numbers, the total for this book, all expenses being considered, was profitable by about $30 that day. And if we subtract, okay, well, it was profitable by $100, but usually I would have gotten some sales organically. Okay, so let's go back by 2 Saturdays ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. This is before I started running the ads. 3 sales one day, 2 sales another day, 4 sales another day, 3 sales, and then that spike from that university being required. So you see, even if you subtract all the organic sales I would have been getting, I'm still profitable despite the high ACOS because of the combination of ads and organic. With this video, I want to start introducing you to how do you start using XMars. And whenever you log into XMars, you're going to log into the view that is your dashboard right here. And in this video, I'm going to show you a dashboard for a relatively new account. This is what you're seeing now. And shortly, I'm going to show you a dashboard for an established account. Now, it's a lot easier to start understanding everything when you start looking at a new account because there's just less going on. The charts aren't crazy looking. And this is an account I just set up to start showing you things from scratch. So you see the metrics I'm showing are just small metrics. You know, I have a little bit of ad sales, I have a little bit of ad spend, etc. And the way I recommend browsing this page is look at it as the overall health of your Amazon business, not necessarily just Amazon ads. And because there are many sections here, like if I scroll down, there's a lot of things going on. Let's quickly go through this for a new account, and then I'll show you how it'll all look like for a more advanced account. So the first section here is the sales overview. You can basically see your sales versus your ad spend, your ACOS, your cost per acquisition, those kinds of metrics. Then on the right side, this XMars efficiency, you start to see how the AI compares to manual and semi-manual bidding. It color codes things in 4 different colors. See, the dark blue is AI autopilot, which is mainly what my account is focusing on. Then strategy and recommendation. This is kind of like semi-autopilot. I have a little bit of that happening. And then automatic bid rules. This is where I can give it like specific rules, like if the ACOS gets too big and there are too few sales, I can maybe stop an ad or something like that, or pause an ad. And then the regular campaign, that would be manual setup for the campaign. The next section is core concerns. This is if something is wrong with your campaigns or if something is wrong with some specific product, like maybe the ACOS went up a lot, or maybe you dropped in clicks for some reason. If something's happening out of the ordinary, this tool will tell you. Of course, here I just started this account, so it doesn't have enough data to show it to me. But this is where you would look for problems. And similarly, a more established account would also have a section to show you things that are happening that are good. And as you scroll down, one thing I really like is this advertising dashboard because you can literally see your funnel. Like here I have a lot of impressions, very few clicks. You see the click-through rate is very, 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 very low, meaning that most likely my ads are just not appearing in top of the page ads, or they're not appearing in good spots So I'm getting a bad click-through rate. And the people who are clicking, they're converting at 5%, which is not great, not terrible. I could raise it. It may be a problem with the traffic that's coming, because again, the traffic that's coming is a very small set of traffic, because most of the impressions are people not clicking on my ads. So this part of the dashboard is really helpful because you can immediately tell where problems may be occurring. And as we go down, you get top campaigns list. Again, I only have one campaign right now that it's showing. So right now it's not interesting. It will be interesting when I show you a more established account. On the keyword top list, you can actually sort by keyword. So these keywords have my different books. So you can look at highest spend. You can order by sales, like which keywords are getting me the sales. Oh, okay, procrastination, that got me a sale. Now, of course, the data here is very inconclusive because it's a very small sample set, but let's say this sample size grows and it stays that way, well, I can do a lot more around the keyword of procrastination. And as we scroll down, you can see that you can have a store comparison. Like if I have one bigger company with multiple brands, I can see how they're doing. And here it shows me on the right side the top ASINs in the top 50. So now that we had this really brief overview, in the next video, let me actually show you how a more established account would look like. Because if I just dove into that now, it may have been quite overwhelming, but now it will just be a small step in the increase of complexity. And we'll do that in the next video. With this video, I want to begin introducing you to the Ad Manager section of Xmars. The Ad Manager is something you can think of as your manual handling and overseeing of your ads, and you can think of it as something that resembles your Amazon ad dashboard, but you can do more with. And I want to show you how it's all going to work. For that purpose, I've set up some initial ads. And you can see their initial ads because I just have a little bit of spend and I haven't perfected the ad, so I only made one sale and I have a big ACoS. This is all for the purpose of just actually creating this video. And on the dashboard tab, you can see basic information like your spend versus your sales. This is all you can see on Amazon. Of course, on Amazon, maybe not in a as nice chart, but you can still get that. I'll show you later what you can get here that you cannot see on Amazon. But what I want to show you are the other tabs here. There's the portfolios tab, but there's also the sponsored product. All my ads that are sponsored product, like a lot of them here, we're going to walk through that, and sponsored brands, which I'm not doing, and sponsored daily, which I'm also not doing, but they're basically the same. The way you manage one of these sponsor tabs is the way you manage the other one. So let's look at the sponsored products. And what you'll do is you'll scroll down to the list of these campaigns and you'll see immediately you can manually create a campaign. If you click on this create campaign, you can do this essentially the same way you would do this on the Amazon dashboard. Choose dynamic fixed bids. You can set up everything manually here. You can choose the keywords manually, etc. But generally speaking, we're not here for that. We're here for the AI. So let's look at that. So when you're on sponsored products tab, you see you want to look at on this page, and there are many ways to organize your ads. Look on top here, you can do this by campaign. You can do this by product targeting. So let's say I'm going to target by keyword and I'm going to enter business plan, which is one of my books. And I'm going to search by that. Then what you'll see is when you scroll a little, all the keywords that have the word business plan in them, you can see inactive, active, and you can see the P is the phrase match, the B is the broad match, the E is the exact match. So for example, I'm trying to bid exactly on the word business plan because one of my books is a business planning books, and you can see what my bids are approximately. You can change that if you like, etc. But let's go back to the campaign, because what's really cool is that you can make edits to the campaign. So let's say here you see this optimization style. This is really interesting because you can take existing campaigns that you set up perhaps even before you got Xmars, and you set them up manually in your Amazon dashboard, where you can switch them to AI. When this little spinny thing is spinning, that means AI is running and collecting data. And just for contrast, I want to show you an account that's populated that has a lot more data. You can see here the spend is a big spend, the sales are huge, we have a really low ACOS, everything looks amazing, and you have the chart of how much you're spending versus your ACOS, etc. What you can do on this part here, where you can manage everything, you see. And so what you can do is, for example, you see this option is available. Automation rule is ready to be enabled. Now, automation rules are rules you can set in addition to the AI. So let's click on that. And what's really cool is that, look, you can target by any hour of the week. So for example, you can set your bid, whatever you set your bid. 1.0 means that at that time, let's say on Monday morning, your bid is going to be exactly times 1.0 of your bid. It's going to be your bid. But let's say you want on Monday in the morning, 24-hour clock here. So let's say Monday midnight, like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. You don't want that. You want like 0.1. So that your bid gets adjusted very low. So you're not going to spend your advertising budget in the morning. And of course, you don't want to do it square by square. You can actually just highlight, let's say you don't want that time. So maybe you'll do something like that, and then you'll give that time like 0.1, and then you can also adjust other times of the week, so that really, if you know that most of your sales are happening like weekdays 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., you really just want to maximize your ads budget to be spent there, and you can increase your bids then, and then minimize the bids at times where you're not getting the buying. And AI will do this for you automatically at times, but this is in case you want to apply your own reasoning on top of the AI. Because remember, AI is smart, but it doesn't know everything about your unique situation and your unique goals, especially once things get granular in your goals. And the other tabs on top here are also interesting, like placement. Like here's a really interesting one, top of the search. That's where you really want to be. You want to be the first ad, top of the search, so you can bid adjust to a bigger number. So you can say 50% more. Because generally speaking, the top of the search placements are really good to end up in. In fact, it's often one of the goals is like, how do you get to be the top of the search? Really important here, right? So that's certainly one thing you want to play around with. And of course, you can do this for individual ads, or if you have multiple ads running in your ad group, like in this case, it's just one ad group. But if you have multiple things happening here, like there are 2 different ads, then you can do some kind of a bulk action on them, like maybe add negative keywords, etc. And you can always come back to this spot right here where we adjusted the bid, and you can actually look at the ACOS you have running. You can check every metric that may be important for you, and depending on the metric that's important for you, you would adjust the bids, you would adjust every single part of the ad. And of course, we're not saving things here, but in your case, of course, don't forget to save, because things will not get saved, obviously. But then this is how you might have some AI running and superimpose your own rules on top of the AI to get the absolute best results possible for you. And you can see, are my rules working better than the AI? If your rules aren't helping the AI, you can get rid of them later. But at least with this, you have all this incredible flexibility, and it's all in the ad manager. Basically, this is you doing a lot of the manual adjustments or manual setup of the ads from scratch. Or if you have some ads set up already, even from before you started using Xmars, you can make those ads fully or partially run and get adjusted by the AI. So these are all the things you can do in the ad manager. And I want to walk you a little more through all the things you can do under ad manager in the sponsored products or brands or display. So for example, let's say you're targeting by keyword, and there are so many keywords, and let's say you want to keep the keywords for yourself. Like I click the keyword tab, and right away this updated and I got the keywords. You can actually export this data and save the keyword data, which is really helpful. And let's say that some information is more important for you to track than not, like the ad group name. You maybe don't need it. So what you want to click on here is customize the columns, and you might not need the ad group name, but you actually want to stay focused on ROAS, return on ad spend, which is really important because that includes additional data like full return on ad spend. That's the amount of revenue from the ads and organic. That's the revenue you get from the ad spend and organic sales. And you see there are many options you can choose that you can customize your dashboard here. Some of the options are also available in the dashboard, but again, you can manage all of this through here. And again, some options are not even available in the dashboard, like estimated missed clicks, estimated missed impressions. You don't get this in the Amazon dashboard. And I want to show you one more thing that's really cool. You see right here, there are additional little tabs, trend, ad structure, and bubble chart. The ad structure is really interesting because you can compare how your AI is doing versus how your manual ads are doing. You see right here, it says in your spend, you're getting 82% of your spend is on manual. That's just in this example. And let's say your auto, that's AI, is getting only 17%. But what about the sales breakdown? So you start breaking down by sales. And let's say there's a discrepancy, like the AI is handling smaller budget, but it's making more of the sales. Well, why not give it more of the budget? So you will start looking at, okay, where is my manual budget getting spent? Where is it underperforming? Can I give it and hand it over to the AI? And that way you can turn your manual ads or mostly manual ads into more AI-driven ads. And also in the chart here, what's really interesting is that you can toggle. Like, let's say you're doing a weekly experiment, you can see how things are performing weekly, because obviously day to day there can be different fluctuations. Like Fridays are probably worse performing than Mondays, etc. But week to week, there are fewer fluctuations, and month to month, there are even fewer fluctuations. So you can kind of see what will be going on here and what's going in the right direction, what's going in the wrong direction. And immediately, again, you can see everything so nicely and visually here that you'll immediately spot problems, drill down on those problem areas, and address them. And again, you can either have the AI totally work on your behalf, like if this thing is spinning, the AI is working. But you can also, as you see here, enable automation rules on some of them. And even if you click on AI is running, you can see all the things that the AI is doing for that ad. And you can see if it's working out for you or if there's something you want to change. Like you might want to change your target ACOS or something else. So even if the AI is not performing exactly how you want it, you can even make adjustments to that. So that's all in the Ad Manager dashboard. If you want to just have your AI run for you and not think about it, you may not really need to play around here. But if you want to be a super user and become an advanced user, which really you will become an advanced user no matter what over time, then this is a great place to play around. So you can do so many different advanced, higher level thinking and strategizing things here, and you get tremendous control over your ads. In this video, I want to show you how you can help the AI. And after you've set up your ads, I want to show you what I did. So you see there are 6 ads that say Business Plan AI. There were 6 of them, but as you can see, I'm still only running 5 of them. And 1 got turned off. So it was this one, you see. And you can literally go in and you can see what was going on in there. This is XMARS Business Plan AI manual product category, right? So I saw that advertising in the product category just wasn't profitable. You see, this is that ad right there, XMARS Business Plan AI product category. And I saw that it was spending like $121, got 3 sales, which wasn't that great. And the ACOS was really huge. So that's a case where you have an experiment. The experiment just maybe doesn't work. And instead of losing money that way, I was like, okay, I'll turn that one off because that one was working the least well. And at that point, I had 2 options. I can redistribute that budget to better performing ads, which were all of them at that time, because that was the worst performing ad, or I can just not spend that money. And that's exactly what I did. About a couple of weeks in, I monitored the ad performance daily, naturally, And then I saw, oh, okay, one of them is just not doing nearly as well, turned it off. And that's how you can immediately increase your ad profitability by just going into your dashboard and turning some off. Now, there's much more that you can do to help yourself, because let's look at this most profitable ad right now. The one that's the 48% ACOS over the last 15 days. This one is called Manual Keyword Broad. So when we actually come in here and look for Manual Keyword Broad, this is it right here. Let's actually look at how you can also help the ad, because it didn't start out so profitably. And even though the AI is working in the background on your behalf to help you, and the AI is making hundreds of little adjustments over time, you can still help it to be faster, because if I click on ad group here, I'm going to be able to see the keywords that were targeted. And so initially the AI decided on some keywords for me, just automatically based on my product. And here's the keywords under keyword targeting. And what you'll immediately see is that some of them are not active. So I went in and I saw, well, buy build for some reason didn't make sense. Or the LLC Dummies, that's another book that's a competitor of mine. They were trying to bid on that. And then I saw, well, it's a high cost per click. Buy build was like 154. But that audience just weren't buying from me. And so I was losing this money, because you see the sales were 0, but I was spending some money. So I was like, okay, it's not a big spend, but at the same time, I just didn't think that keyword was going to be good for me. So I literally went in and tweaked some. And so, for example, here's a questionable one, right? LLC book. And this is one I still am running. And we can look at how it's performing. You see, spend is $5.50. Sales are almost $33. That's fantastic. So what I could do, because this is working so well for me, I want to appear higher among the other ads in those searches. I might even increase my bid if I want to, just because I want more of that traffic. Of course, 2 sales is very inconclusive, but it's also very encouraging. On the other hand, I can see that as time is passing by, this keyword business, it's not particularly profitable for me, even though it's getting me sales, not a crazy amount of sales, but again, I want some consistent sales to remain, because I want my book to keep on ranking here. So over time, as this gains more data, I'm going to make a decision. Do I stop it? Do I keep it going? Right now, it looks like a reasonable candidate to stop advertising on this particular keyword business, or maybe make a number of other adjustments like decreasing the bids and see what will happen to that. So I can play that by ear. If I want more profitability, I would take that ad off probably. If I want more sales, I can probably keep it on at a small loss. But look at what's happening here. There's another keyword, how to write a business plan, super profitable. Under $6 spend, over $70 in sales. And the metrics are good too. 20% conversion rate, reasonable click-through rate, better than the other ones. So for this one, I can literally manually go in and try to adjust the bid and try to dominate this particular keyword, because this keyword is wildly profitable for me. I want all those people. And a very similar situation is playing out with the keyword business plan. So you can see you can dig in to the keywords at this very low level and adjust them as you go, because you have full control. And in fact, you should do that. That is going to help your ads become way, way, way more effective and get you towards the goal that you're after. In addition to all the things you can do in the ad manager, there's Amazon DSP. DSP stands for Demand Side Platform. DSP is really cool because this is often available on Amazon only for the very, very large clients. So if you have a smaller shop, this wouldn't even be available for you. But here, it's available for you through that API. So this is only for the API clients. And obviously, Xmart uses the Amazon API to pull this data, so they have access to this information and they can give it to you right here in the DSP. So here you have like Amazon audience, and you can look at the audience who's browsing your product. And again, this is maybe for a store that has many brands on it. You can look by landing page, how each landing page performs perhaps, things like this. You can also sort by the source type, source meaning the source of the traffic. But what's really cool is that you get so much data here that actually if you just used the regular Amazon Ad Console, you wouldn't have access to a lot of this data. Like if you have multiple products, you can sort by product line. It gets very complex here. You can see where the sales are getting made, like standard display, mobile app, actually. You can check if the buyers are people who are new to your brand or returning. See new to brand, repeated buyers. So let's say you have a dog food brand. The idea of a dog food brand might be that people will buy the same food if they like it, if the dog likes it, again and again and again. So you want, for some brands, to mostly be repeat buyers, but also at the same time, you don't want to lose track of like making sure that new buyers find your brand. And so you can check and track by that, which is really incredible, because often we just don't know. Let's say you advertise on Amazon randomly, you have no idea and almost no information about the buyer when they make a sale. You just know, okay, I made a sale, but who are they? Are they familiar with your brand or not? If you're a bigger brand, or if you're a professional brand who maybe is small, but you want to handle your business professionally, this is the kind of information you want to keep track of. Like, are you satisfying return customers? If not, what can you do? Maybe you start thinking about what you can do to satisfy return customers so more of them become return customers, because obviously it's much easier to sell to return customers than to new ones, because you don't have to convince return customers of just about anything else. They already know your product. They already know your brand. If they're coming back, that's great. If people are not coming back, well, you got some problem solving to do. So I just wanted to quickly walk you through the Amazon DSP section here, because it does give you a rich set of additional information that if you are not a giant brand, you don't even have access to this through the regular Amazon Ad Console. In this video, I want to walk you through the efficiency tools of Xmars. There are a number of options. I'll walk you through them one by one. The first is automation rules. And you see, since I have a new account, when you click on it, it's empty. So you'll mouse over add new template and it gives you options. And when you create rules, for example, bid day parting, this is very interesting. Something like this is something you can apply to many ads. So instead of doing this every time you set up a campaign and every time you set an ad, which is very time consuming and very boring, you can just set this once. Like literally, if it's before 6 in the morning, you don't want to run your ads. You don't want to run through your ad budget because, or 7 in the morning. So you want to say like 0.1, confirm and save. And you might want to also think about the weekends. But again, you see, you give this template name, like no mornings. And then you see your competitor advertisers, they're going to run through a lot of their budget early in the day when the buyers are maybe like misclicking on ads because they haven't fully woken up yet. They're not fully thinking. They're just browsing more than shopping. And so your competitors who don't have that rule will just run through their ad budget. So later in the day, some of their ad budgets are going lower or are out of budget, and then your ads will kick in and your ads will show up more when people are actually shopping. And in addition to the time-based automation rules, you can set interesting targeting rules. The options here are very detailed. Like for example, for a sponsored product, you might say you want to increase the bid right here, and then you have options. You might say you want to increase the bid percentage based on the current bid. If, for example, your spend is, let's say, under $1 for the day, so you want to start bidding higher. Just as an example, because different ad campaigns run through their daily ad budgets at different speeds, so you might want to get it kickstarted faster. Or what's interesting is that the condition you see is you have many options. Like if the ACOS is small, right? If it's actually smaller than 30%, you can increase your bids. We'll say smaller. You can increase your bids by, let's say, 50% because you have spending margin, and that will give you more sales. So you can do that. You see, so if your ACOS is small, and let's say it's profitable until you get to 50% ACOS, well, you can increase your spending. And you can make your rules pretty complex because you can always add conditions. Like you can say, well, and my impressions are higher than a certain number or lower than a certain number, then I have a certain goal. So you can always add more complexity. And you can give this template name like profitable ACOS, and you'll save that. And then you can apply this template again to many of the campaigns you want so that you don't have to recreate this manually for every campaign. Or let's say you want to create a list of negative keywords like free, or for dentists, maybe you don't sell to dentists, then you would just add that here, and you'll always have a list of negative keywords you are going to avoid, and that's going to help your spending be smaller. So you always actually want to think about, what are my negative keywords? Like if I'm selling a business plan book, well, yeah, I want to avoid free, but let's say I also want to avoid like nonprofits, let's say, right? Because business planning for profitable businesses. So nonprofits, yeah, they could kind of read my business planning book, but it's not a great match. So maybe they'd be less likely to have a high conversion rate. And so that way, okay, I can get rid of the people who search for business plan for nonprofits. And of course, I'd lose those sales, but I would probably increase my overall ACOS, and I probably wouldn't spend my ad dollars for those keywords, so I can repurpose and spend my ad dollars for better keywords and not run out of my ad spend every day. So you want to think about what are your not so good keywords and add them to the negative keywords list. So again, you can always have that just help the AI a little bit more. So those are just some examples of automation rules you can set. And of course, depending on your situation, you can get very creative with what kind of rules you can create. In this video, I want to talk about locking ad placements. It's really cool because I love ad placements where you're the top of the search ad. So what you'll do is you'll choose a keyword like business plan. And what you'll do is on the third pull down here, this is where the magic really happens, is you want to be not just on the first page, because you can be on the bottom of the first page. You want to be on top of search. I love top of search. And then you want to give it the highest bid price, especially if you have a highly converting sales page, which you'll get that data anyway, because you'll see how many impressions you get versus how many clicks you get versus how many purchases you get. So you'll know how many purchases you need. And according to that, well, you see when your ad appears on top of the search, more people are going to click on it. More people are going to buy your products. You're going to get more reviews. You're going to get more engagement. You're going to get more of everything. And it's also going to perhaps help your organic Amazon search rankings. That will be great. And it will take sales away from your competitors. So this is a really fantastic place to be if you can afford it. So what you want to do is give it maybe like the highest bid price you can afford, let's say, and of course for a time period, right? You don't want to be doing this at times when your customers are not buying. So locking ad placements is a great feature. In this video, I want to introduce you to the rank tracker. Basically, what you're going to do is choose an ASIN. For example, I'll take the ASIN of one of my books. Then I'm going to add it here. So I'll be able to choose a product from the pull down. And let's say we're going to choose one of my business books. Then we're going to give this a name. Obviously, we'll call it business plan. And then the keyword will be business plan. And then we'll say confirm. And then we'll say data retrieving. It will take a little while to do that. And just so that we don't have to wait, here's how it would look like on a account that's established. You can see the products listed here, and then you can see the competitors listed here, and then you can see all this information about it, like if it ranks in the top 10 search results. So basically you can see how it performs against other competitors. You can click on details here, and so this will help you track the performance of your product against some of your competitors. And generally speaking, you have the options to track many different things that could be helpful for your business. You can track different aspects of a single product. You can choose to track organic rankings over time. You can choose to track ad rankings. You can track your own products. You can track competitor products, and you can track competitor product prices, ranking, and ratings so that you can get a clue of how they're doing, so that you can understand how much you have to push your product and what you have to do to your product to jump over your competitors and stay ahead of them. Now I want to introduce you to some more advanced features of XMARS. So on the left side here, when you click over on AMC model, that's something really interesting because that gives you access to data that you would get in Amazon Marketing Cloud. And that's a service that's not available for relatively small businesses. That's a service that Amazon only makes available for gigantic brands, and even then those brands have to reach out to Amazon. They have to get individual approval. It's a process, but because XMARS has the API access to Amazon data, XMARS is able to give you access to some of these features here. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of them. For example, unique reach. So I'm going to go over them at a high level, and you can decide which ones may be useful for your situation and then dive deeper into those. So one thing I really like is path to conversion. This is where Amazon shows you what the person did before they bought. So maybe they looked at the category, or maybe they then browsed your competitor's book and then they came to your book and then they converted. But you don't really know that unless you look at path to conversion. So that's very interesting. So you can then determine, let's say, maybe your ads that appear on competitors' books, competitor product pages, maybe they're not converting directly, but maybe they're playing a role in the path to conversion. And you see right now as I'm talking, it's just a guess, and it's going to always be a guess because Amazon doesn't give us that information. That information is only given to a few select people or people who have access to this tool. Similarly, as sellers, we really don't know anything about our audience demographics except maybe where to ship things to, but that's all we know. But with this tool, you get a sense of who's consuming your products. And that's really interesting because let's say my business plan book, if I see, it's really mostly younger people, well then in the description of the book, I'm going to rephrase it slightly to be more appealing to younger people. Similarly, like new to brand, people who don't know about your brand versus branded searches. How many people who are buying are actually searching for your brand versus actually discovering you through the power of Amazon discovery? Like, are they getting to you because they really know you so well and they already love your brand, or does Amazon bring you new customers? And there are other cool features like cross-product association. Let's say you have more than one product. Right now, you don't know if people are clicking over from one of your products to the next. How many people are browsing multiple products? We just don't know that. Amazon doesn't tell us. But this tool can tell us. And so you can look at this as sort of advanced analytics, advanced information about how your product is performing and how your ads are performing. And armed with this new information, you can make additional better decisions in how you're going to run your ads and your overall store. So that concludes this video. Hopefully it was helpful and insightful, and hopefully you were able to set up your own ads. Now in the resources of this video, I'll have the link to XMARS, and I'll also have the links to my own books if you're interested in checking them out, and I'll have the link to my full course library in case you're interested in taking a look at more of my courses. I have over 170 courses on various topics ranging from business to marketing to ads, etc. And they're professionally made courses. I have over 700,000 students online at the time of this filming, and I'll have the link to my teacher bio also in the resources of this video, so you can check everything out and see if you want to keep learning from me. Of course, I hope you do. And of course, I hope to see you in my other videos and my courses. So with that, thank you for watching and see you soon.